like this for truckers and more oversized load hanging advice. What I like to do for the front bumper, a lot of people put flags with wooden poles here and then strap it down. I find that's kind of difficult, so what I do is I just take these flat flags, don't have any poles. They usually have a ring on them, and what I do is the ring usually pops out. So what I end up doing is I fold it over and I just stick the bungee cord through another one of these parts of the mesh, and so it just hangs out like that and everything. The thing a lot of people do is they take their flags and they have it at an angle, and that makes your truck wider than it needs to be. Now granted, if you just have no length load like this one, you're making it wider too. Now it's legal to do that since you're oversized, and because securement and flags and stuff like that can hang over technically because they're not part of the load. You're just making it more difficult for you if you're making a tight turn. So I like to just use these regular flags. You put these flags through the hook of the bungee first, and then you put your oversized sign through it. So this isn't gonna fly off. If you had it right here on the tip, it'd just fly right off. But this is under some tension, so it won't. So I hook it here, I put it underneath, and I hook it back. And that's also gonna prevent the oversized sign from coming out. And then with the bottom, I'll probably just do the same way, where I go like that. I did the same to the other side, but you see, the problem is like here in the middle, since I didn't hook those to anything, pulling them out here in the middle, it might start to sag. So I'm gonna put an X right across the middle here, but first, gotta take the license plate off, zip tie it to the grill or wherever you can, because your oversized signs cannot be covering your license plate. And a lot of people will just tuck their oversized signs underneath there. A lot of people have gotten away with that, but they got me for that one time. They didn't give me a ticket, but they said they would have. I doubt it, but I just take it off, zip tie it to the grill. What I do is I curl the tip of my zip ties. These are reusable zip ties, by the way, come in handy with things like this. And it helps you stick it through one of the grills and then pull it out the other side. But yeah, just zip tie your license plate to your grill somehow. You don't have to get it super tight, but just make sure it's there. Make sure you got 2 zip ties on it. Bolts in your wrench bag, and always keep a spare 10mm wrench. You know how elusive those suckers are. That was a little bit different than I'm used to. Stick your flag with the pole on it. Stick it all the way through until it's right, the flag is flush. And then wrap your bungee around there, leave about the same amount on each end. And then what we're gonna do is you make sure your oversized load sign is the right, not upside down, not backwards or anything. Ooh, this one's getting a little bit ripped. But you want to hook it on one end. And the idea is you don't want your flag covering up your lights. Now your trailer license plate, they don't mind as much as your front license plate. But you see, that's about the height you want it. And I'm going to take another bungee, hook it to here, wrap it around the bottom so it stays like that. Maybe hook it around the mud flap or the bumper if I can. Usually bumpers stick out a little bit farther, and that's what I wrap it around. But we'll have to get creative with this one. I wrapped it around the top, wrapped it around the bottom. Flag isn't going anywhere. And then I took this one and I just hooked it like that. And then I took this top one, I put it underneath this little rubber thing to keep it underneath the lights so people can see my turn signals. And we're just gonna have to figure out what to do at the bottom there. Let me grab a couple more bunches. Tried the bottom best I could over here around the mud flap, just to pull it tight. If the back one flaps a little bit, they're not gonna, they're understanding if there's no place to tie it down low. But that's how you hang your oversized signs, or at least how I do it on this particular trailer.